Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. You haven't seen me for a while, and that's because of the race I just put on. I've been putting on races since 2011, including multi-day races. But this criterium has been the most challenging for me, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. The first challenge that I had is that I didn't know anybody. I came into this town not knowing anybody, not having any contacts. About 2.5 weeks before the event, that was my drop dead date. That was whether I was going to continue on through the event or just stop everything and then call it a day right there. I had very little cash sponsorship. While the volunteers I was going to have for the day of help were coming from a local junior high that was going to benefit from the race, nothing was yet defined with that. And on the other end of the scale, there's the opportunity that's presented from that huge race that I'm associated with, the Michelob Ultra Squad Cycling Classic, an ARC level race in Visalia, California, just 22 minutes down the road. So I'm hoping to ride the coattails of that and get riders that are coming to that race to also come and do my race. The risk-benefit ratio then wasn't so bad, and so I decided to continue on. Fast forward from that point to 5 days before the race, and I only have 8 course marshals and day of help for the race from the school. There was an unexpected death in one of the faculty members, and they were going to have the funeral on the day of the race. I quickly went out and contacted my team, contacted the local cycling community, and let them know what was going on and let them know I needed some help, and then some volunteers were able to come forward. We were running a thin crew, and even Mr. Cycling Greek was out there. Fast forward again, it's now the day before the race. I am just under $4,000 in the hole. I need about 70 riders so I can break even. Fast forward again, it's now the day of the race. With our small crew, we were able to get everything started on time. First race off at 8 o'clock. Then that's where the next challenge came in. The first crash happened, has no fire department. At the previous city council meeting, I went up to the fire chief and I said, I'd like to be at the races for medical support. He said, no problem, we'll be there. They weren't there. I'm probably thinking, if you're going to be at the races, you're going to be at the races. He's probably thinking, we'll be at the fire station, just give us a call when you need us. So we gave him a call, no one answered. The police that we had on site walked 2 blocks over to the fire station, got somebody, came back. Big delay in response time. So when they got there, there was also some additional crashes in other areas along with this one bad section. They saw what was going on. They decided we've got to get somebody out there, and they called in for backup from a neighboring town, and they brought in an ambulance to have stationed there. That one bad section was between turns 5 and 6. All the other roads were very good to excellent. In the middle, on the gutter, there was a section of the gutter for about 4 feet that was raised about 3 inches. It would like come up a bit and then go back down. So if you rode over it, that was not a problem, but if you got skittish, like a couple of people did, they would jump off of it, and they jump off into sometimes other people's lines. And this is something that I missed. And this was on a residential section, so there was a number of times when I went over that road talking to the residents and checking things out. And there was probably cars parked there, so I never saw that. Day of the race, one of the officials went through the course, they never saw that. The moto official, after this was happening, let me know what was going on, said get some cones and stick it on there. That alleviated any further problems, at least that I'm aware of. So now the rest of my time was spent course marshal support. I'm giving out water, food, giving breaks to people, dealing with surprises that come up. So now it's the end of the day. We have even less crew, but there's people that are helping, like this one racer from a nearby town was helping us clean up and actually roll up fences, which is a real tedious thing to do, and God bless them for doing that. Now, a few days after the race, I am thinking about next year. I developed this one good contact, a teammate actually that works for the school that was helping coordinate stuff with getting course marshals and with other things. So we're going to be getting together and starting to lay the groundwork as to what we need for a race committee for next year. So what's the advantage of a race committee? What can they do for you? Well, let's take a look at the Kingsburg race that I had, first time coming in, no contacts, versus the Visalia race. A lot of history, a lot of support from the locals there, big race committee. In my race, I had 120 racers with 17 extra races. In Visalia, they had 212 racers with 62 extra races. So 137 versus 284, that's quite a change in ambiance. Now, my 120 racers Most of them did the Visalia race, while the ones that went to Visalia, at least 100 racers did not do my race. And that's understandable. A lot of the racers are masters racers, so they can't get away for the whole weekend. If you have your choice to do this race or that race, you're going to do bike tires for a prize list that I had, or $400 to $4,000 for your particular race that Visalia had. Sponsorship. Visalia had $17,000 in sponsorship and another $20,000 in media support on top of that. So the media support ranged from flyers and these really cool posters that they made to commercials, banners that they had along the finish line, and the finish line, and then the whole finish trellis set up, billboards out. It was a high production event. And now the bottom line. Visalia was pretty much able to break even as they designed, but on my end, I ended up losing about $2,300. And that's not even counting the ambulance that hopefully I'm not going to get billed on. Even though I lost all that money, the school I was benefiting, they were supposed to get half the proceeds, but there's no half proceeds there. I still gave them some money as good faith for the work that they put in, and also for an enticement for next year that we can work together and grow this event. So what's next? Well, I'm going to get back into race shape and do some more videos do that, relax a little bit, start laying the groundwork for that race committee I was talking about for next year for Kingsburg, and start incorporating some of the changes that I had outlined for the OTF stage race. You got to come to that. All right, hope this gives you an idea of what it takes to put on a bike race, this whole series, The Tale of Two Races. And remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.